So I'm home nursing.
Lovely.
Which obviously I'm brilliant at.
Yeah, I bet you are very sympathetic.
Patient, sympathetic, you know, that kind of stuff. You know, all my normal traits.
Yeah.
Morning, y'all. That is a sick bowl. That is a sick bean. We have a throwing up hauler, everybody. So that now means my day is going to be quite different to what it was meant to be. Literally popping out to get my car sorted, and apart from that, it's me and O at home all day. So what I'm going to do is I did a Q&A video yesterday, but I didn't manage to get off the Twitter comments because you posted so many, and I just wanted to answer as many as possible. So the poor people over on Facebook, if you don't already follow me on Facebook, Mark Crossfield, get over there and follow me. They posted 116 comments and we haven't got one answer yet. So should we see if we can answer 116 questions today? That won't happen. But we'll answer as many as possible. The golf balls yesterday, lots of you using lots of different golf balls, which is interesting to see. No one really changing ball much, it's more that they just use that ball all time of years, all kind of conditions, which I would do. I wouldn't be changing golf ball really for conditions and stuff like that. So European tours come to a halt. You know, we've had Tommy Fleetwood winning Race to Dubai. Congratulations Tommy Fleetwood, a great transformation of his game. What's always funny with golf though is we see needs more water. Lots of these players, you know, come and not go, they're still tour players, but they can't keep those winning ways going, you know. So few of them through history, Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, Nick Faldo, you know, that you can kind of name them, Tom Watson, who just keep going for all their career, almost kind of winning and competing. So who's going to be the best player on the European Tour next year? Is Tommy Fleetwood going to now push forward? Is he going to become like that world stage major winning golfer? I so hope so. But what do you think? Who's going to be the big name next year on the European Tour? Comments down below. Let's hear. Very hard and generic question, I know, but it'd be interesting to hear what thoughts you all have. Hit thumbs up button as always. Getting a bit lazy with that. Come on, thumbs it up. Hit just tap it. Go on. Right, let's kick off some Facebook questions. So Lee Dawson is asking, he asks a few quick fire questions here. First one he says is, how long have you and Lockie worked together? Well, I actually employ Coach now, only for the last 2 years. Before it was all me before that, but the last 2 years I've employed Matt. What does Lockie do between vlogs? He coaches, he has his own life obviously as well, and he edits. He helps with the edit because we've got a a heavy load of videos. Rangefinder or GPS? I'm a rangefinder kind of a guy. And he says, finally, thank you for the videos, your time, I think, and I thank your wife and kids. It is in order by all of us that they must miss out a lot of your time for what you do for us. Cheers, bruh. Thank you, Lee. Very kind, absolutely. And I thank my wife and my kids. They're fantastic, and they allow this to happen because I do travel quite a lot, and they're fantastic supporting me. What are you doing with the hundreds of clubs you have around the house? Surely giveaways to have a clear out for Christmas. Darren Stenson is asking. Darren asking there. What I do, Darren, is things like this. These are all getting ready to get boxed up and sent back. So I try to get as many of them back to the manufacturers. I don't want them. I have them cluttering up my house. I tried to get them out. But I do have some interesting plans with the ones that don't go back, which it's a big plan, but we might do next year. I want to do it. It's just getting the time. It's a lot of time. It's a great idea. Right. Do you have some charge in you? Yes. So you are going to be ridden home when this is dropped off. Yes, I have a new car and it plugs in. Hybrid my vehicle. I'm trying to use no fuel. I hate filling up fuel. I'm clearing the boot out to get the electric bike into the electric car. The second-hand electric car with 44,000 miles on. I think everyone thinks I own Mercedes now. I wish. Robin asks, hi Mark, keep on getting better. What do you see as the pros and cons of bag carrying versus trolleys? I seem to be one of the very few in my club that still uses the stand bag. Am I missing out? Absolutely not. The advantage of carrying, I always think, is you can go wherever you want. You know, you're not going to be dictated by the trolley signs. You know, you can't pull your trolley here. So I think you actually travel a shorter distance when you carry. advantage with trolley if it's raining, you can somehow stay a little bit drier, I think, sometimes, but that's subject to how you play. So, I mean, I would use a trolley just purely because I think it's a bit easier on my back nowadays, but I happily, as you see in the vlogs, I tend to carry quite often as well, because it's just simpler to get from A to B. So Eddie is asking, is fitting for a putter as important as fitting for the rest of your clubs you carry? He then goes on to say, also, would a pro give good advice on what type of ball would suit your game, or is it down to personal preference? Thanks. Putter fitting absolutely is important and unimportant as any club that you get fitted. Again, a fitting for me is a lesson. It gives you a chance to learn about your strokes and how different putters can and can't help you and how much work you might have to do. When it comes to ball selection, absolutely a pro with a launch monitor looking at your data would be able to help you select balls and get you to kind of believe in your feelings of what feels like a good and useful ball for you, because it does come down to personal preference as well. But there are some balls that might just sustain a fraction more with their consistent spin numbers from certain yardages in. It's small, but if you're down to small measurements, you want to get everything perfect, absolutely something to consider. I'm back.
Back? Is that the fifth bit of sick? Or?
Fifth bit of sick, and it's coming out of all angles now. It's like, you know, it's...
Oh, no.
It's coming from everywhere.
Out from every angle.
Not cool from any angle. Right, it's time to make some lunch for one. Orla, as you can imagine, is not eating. Let's get into a few more of these Facebook croissants. Make egg on toast, I think. Oh, we got any bread? Yes. So Neil says, should you get your handicap cut if you're playing in a non-qualifying competition, is what Neil is saying. He's done like a 4 clubs putter, for example. I've won this 2 years, no cut, so get called a bloody bandit. That's a tricky one. That is a tricky one, Neil. I'm not the best person to ask handicap questions with because I'm so out of the handicap system. I'm not working at a golf club, so I don't get to mingle with handicap golfers that much, that kind of idea. I would say, if it's full course, so full tees, full greens, then it shouldn't really matter how many clubs you use. Does that make sense? Oh, got a phone call, bear with. Okay, no, I don't want cold calling. That number will be blocked. Full length course, full tees, doesn't matter how many clubs, if you shoot under your handicap, get cut, in my opinion, but often those competitions are played in those kind of, you know, not full, they're kind of fun, not full conditions, kind of, that's why they're done, because there might be some winter tees and stuff like that. And then for me, if standard scratch scores aren't worked out properly, which they aren't from those tees often, yeah, I'm going to go no cut. Post comments down below actually, let me know what you think. Okay, great question here from John. He is asking, do you think club reviews should start judging irons based on peak height and descent angle rather than just loft and spin? Because my spin numbers for my P797 irons are as good as a bladed 6 iron, but the angle of descent is much steeper with the P790s. That's John Anderton here on Facebook. Good question, John. Yeah, absolutely. You would use that as a measurement, definitely. I think the thing that people seem to constantly be getting wrong with the spin numbers is it's more to do with when you get in those low spinning lies, how the club is reacting. So when you're hitting from a dewy fairway in the morning where you're not getting as much friction because of the water on the round, the ball and on the face, and you're already hitting a low spinning iron, it doesn't matter. It's not about it stopping, it's about that if you drop spin off a ball but it still launches up in the air, that's how you create more distance. So if you get a shot where that number jumps and it's already starting from a low number, you can get massive knuckleballs is the problem. So it's that controlling distance around the irons you play. So yeah, if it's going higher and descending and stopping, that's cool. It's the flyers, it's the anomalies, which I'm trying to reference when we're talking spin numbers. Also, the main reason I mention spin numbers in videos is to show you that it's not magic. Like, this club isn't going further because of the magic marketing that this company is saying they've done to make the ball go further. All they've done is make it spin less. Because I get plenty of comments of people going, oh, you know, those faces are fast, and wow, look at the face and the slots, or the channels, or the, you know, whatever companies, you know, the bars and all the rest of it. Where actually, if you just look at the numbers, that ball's just spinning less. It's launching up, so that's why it's going further. So Don't be tricked. The other thing as well, don't forget D-plane. D-plane is always gonna, it's just there. Like, so many people are getting lost in this spin. I think I need to do a bigger video on it, actually, because I can see people just going around in circles with it. But definitely descent angle and stop is one aspect you should look at. I'm more worried about low spinning shots out of funny lies, so more gaming, because you won't play many shots from a dry mat with a dry ball when you go out and play on the course. And also, it's the reason those clubs are going further, so don't just think they're magic, they're going further because they've just dropped the spin off. So like, that's fine if you want to play that, but don't be fooled by thinking, oh, I'm buying into this like face technology and stuff like that, is why I'm referencing spin numbers. Ham and eggs, SpongeBob SquarePants, me and Little Sicko, or Little Bean. Show us how it's most comfortable to sit. Like that? Just like that. Wowzers. What a day. So we're going to do last few questions. And I've already got tomorrow's vlog worked out because we had an interesting question today. I like that. So my last few questions as I cook tea, we're going to have sausage and mash tonight. All might be able to eat a little bit of mash. So this one's from David. He's saying, did the use of launch monitors change your thinking about strike, club to path, etc.? You would have grown up in a pre-launch monitor era, I assume. Would be interesting to know. Absolutely, it did. It completely changed my ideas. And if you actually watch my channel for 10 years, I've been doing my channel, you can actually see the development. So you can see the ideas changing. There's a video, if you watch a video on how to hit a free wood from the ground, which is one of my popular videos at the time, probably got a decent view count, but the info in it is wrong. I say I hit up at the ball because that's what I feel like I do, where it's very well known now that you don't hit up at a bit with a fairway wood. Basically, if you did, you'd probably top it unless it was sat right up. So absolutely did change. So Paul saying, morning pal, will one-length irons really catch on, or will they be phased out in the next few years? I don't think they'll ever really be phased out. I think we will always now have one length. I'm not sure the popularity will be there unless the major players take them on. You know, your Callaways, Titleist, TaylorMades. I just think your smaller retailers doing them, not that Cobra are small, but they're certainly not quite an Acushnet or a Callaway. I think it's hard just for players to get access to them because they haven't got the exposure in as many shops, people then don't get to try them, so it's hard to catch on. So I think they'll stay very niche. I think they'll always be there. This is a massive potato. It's going to get a lot of mash out of this kid. Chris, Sank, which I would definitely change to Shank if I play with you, Chris, and see if I can get in your head that way. He asks, thoughts on the new Callaway HB irons for 20 handicappers. Try not to do it to handicap, but you know, if your average handicapper isn't launching the ball up in the air, they would definitely be worth a go. I think they were a great set of irons. I'd loved trying them last year. I think they could help a lot of golfers with the launch that they give. So absolutely, but try not to think just purely on handicap when it comes to equipment. Chris Shank. It's not his real name. Sausages. Right, last question's a good one. I am not going to try and pronounce that name. Anyone wants to let me know how you say that one? Just one question. How is your life? Enjoy it? Could you exchange it for a new life like PJ Legend player, or you stand with your current life? Mr. Sorry I don't know your name. I would definitely stand with my current life. I love my life. I have the best family in the world. I get to do amazing things with my job. It's self-created. I always think it's interesting when people say, well, you've got the best job, you know, those kind of things. I think, well, this job didn't exist actually until I started it. So that's maybe where you're getting it wrong. You're thinking that simplistically, because it's that kind of vision, or for want of a better word, that kind of foresight that is allowing me to have this fun life at the moment. And I feel lucky, and thank you all for watching, and again, thanks to my family supporting. Well, what a day. Bangers and mash ready in about 15 minutes. Have a good evening. 2-putt outs, I will pick the winners tomorrow when it's not such a crazy day. Have a good evening. See you all tomorrow.
I thought you said you got to put in an order, and I was like, what?
No, I could put in an order for a not a sick order, but I've got a sick order, so I think my order's gone wrong, you know.